Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. And today we're going to talk about breathing exercises. Why are breathing exercises, so hyped up? Do they really work? Are they actually a good thing to do? Do they help? I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels like breathing exercises sometimes just end up making things worse. For me, I deal with a lot of panic attacks. And one of the first things people say, especially when they don't know a lot about panic attacks, is, to relax, take a deep breath, slow down your breathing, all this kind of stuff. Obviously, when you're in the midst of a panic attack, trying to have, this amount of control and to think to do that is hard enough in the first place. But I've always found that trying to control my breathing just made me panic more. If I was worried about my heart racing, it feels like my heart's beating outside of my chest, or it feels like, I'm breathing too fast and I really want it to slow down. The more that I want it to slow down and the more that I try, for some, weird reason, the faster it gets, the harder it is to control and the worse I panic. And even if I did manage to, take a deep breath and try and slow it down, the fact that my heart would still race and it wouldn't slow down would make me think, okay, so now that I've done this breathing exercise and my heart stayed the same, that means something really is wrong, because everyone says breathing exercises are supposed to slow your heart down and make it better. And for me, it's not helping. So it just caused me to panic so much more. Now, I'm interested to know if I'm the only one that feels like that or if anyone else does. So please let me know in the comments. But I recently did the first episode of my podcast, the Anxiety Fitness Podcast, which I really would love if you would check out. Just check the link in the description, which I think is over here. I spoke to Dr. Rita Santos, a clinical psychologist and CBT psychotherapist. So, she really knows what she's talking about. She has years and years worth of knowledge, clinically and, through research and things like that. And I asked her this exact question about breathing exercises and a little bit more on safety behaviors as well. So I really want you to have a look, check that out, and tell me what you think. Here's a little clip. And if you want to see the full episode, just click the link in the description. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it. So enjoy. That's an interesting one, because a lot of people do recommend, take a deep breath when you have a panic attack or things like that. But I've recently heard that might not actually be a good idea. So why is that? So can you go deeper in like the safety behaviors and things like that? And
So safety behaviors are those things we develop or are urged to do to keep ourselves safe, basically, and to protect ourselves. So if we talk about coping, like if it's raining, we take an umbrella, we are coping, okay? But a safety behavior is a behavior, or a protective behavior is a behavior you do to keep yourself safe in a particular situation. So deep breathing is something that people can read out there, hear about it, but is not going to work very well for quite high levels of anxiety, panic attacks. It might provide some relief at that point in time, but in the long term is creating the right platform for other panic attacks to occur. The reason for that to happen is that every time you do that, your brain is learning that if you didn't, something bad was going to happen.
wow.
And therefore, the next time you are in the situation or you have a symptom, your brain has now learned that you need to do deep breathing or something bad's going to happen. And therefore is going to enter into survival mode, which means takes the anxiety even higher. Okay?
Wow.
So all those protective behaviors we use as far as anxiety is concerned are actually quite detrimental, because the information our brains are getting is that if we do that, something bad's going to happen. So the likelihood of it coming back is higher.
So that's even if they do provide some short-term relief, in the long run, it could be making things a bit worse. Wow. So if you enjoyed that, if you learned something, please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment too. Anything helps. I'm planning to do way more of these YouTube videos, a lot more long form content for you to enjoy and hopefully learn a thing or two. But it's great to have this place to like share our experiences and things like that. And check me out on TikTok if you haven't already, and Instagram as well. Yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.